This program is brought to you by Happy Cam Sports.
Hello friends, happy bowler and welcome to Happy Cam Sports review preview of the World Bowls Championship kicking off on the 29th of August and September 10. We got 5 host venues up there on the magnificent Gold Coast: Broadbeach, Club Helensvale, Club Musgrave, Majiraba and Paradise Point are your host clubs. Entry to this massive tournament, which only comes every 4 years, is free. Tell you, the first event was held in Australia in 1966. It's back in Australia this year. Got 44 nations all around the world competing. I have a list of all the teams, so check it out right here on Happy Cam Sports.
Australia. Singles, Aaron Wilson and Ellen Ryan. Pairs, men, Aaron Tees and Aaron Wilson and Christina Christic and Ellen Ryan. Women. Triples, men, Coy Wedlock, Aaron Sheriff and Carl Healy. Women, Dawn Heyman, Lindsay Clark and Kelsey Cottrell. Fours, men, Coy Wedlock, Aaron Tees, Carl Healy and Aaron Sheriff. Women, Christina Christic, Dawn Heyman, Lindsay Clark and Kelsey Cottrell. Para pairs, men, Damien Delgado and James Reynolds. Women, Cheryl Lindfield and Serena Bonnell. VI mixed pairs, Jake and Cody Felberg, a director, Jackie and Rob Hudson, director. Argentina side. Singles, Ricardo Rubinat and Lucila Borzoli. Pairs, Ricardo Rubinat and Raul Pollitt. Women, Lucila Borzoli and Anna Ramos. Triples, Daniel St. Genez, Javier Loro and Jorge Barreto. Women, Virginia Bianco, Annabel Dudlaucus and Gabriela Villamarin. Fours, Daniel St. Genez, Javier Loro, Jorge Barreto and Raul Pollitt. Women, Virginia Bianco, Annabel Dudlaucus, Anna Ramos and Gabriela Villamarin. Botswana squad. Singles, Bhavan Balandra and Lafai Maria Modutlua. Pairs, Michael Gabobu and George Kieni. Women, Les Edie Millist Mafoko and Lafai Maria Modutlua. Triples, Bhavan Balandra, Andre van der Walt and Binesh Desai. Women, Mola Tedidoma, Chikala Robert and Gairo Melwi M. Popper Pelamo. Fours, Michael Gabobu, George Kieni, Andre van der Walt and Binesh Desai. Women, Les Edie Millist Mafoko, Mola Tedidoma, Chikala Robert and Gairo Melwi M. Popper Pelamo. Brazil squad. Singles, Renar Evangelisti and Maria Evangelisti. Canada squad. Singles, Ryan Bester and Kelly McCarahan. Pairs, Ryan Bester and John Bazier and Kelly McCarahan and Jordan Koss. Triples, Cameron Lafresny, Rob Law and Owen Kirby. Women, Emma Boyd, Bayla Van Stein and Joanna Cooper. Fours, Cameron Lafresny, John Bazier, Rob Law and Owen Kirby. Women, Jordan Koss, Emma Boyd, Bayla Van Stein and Joanna Cooper. Cook Islands squad. Singles, Royden Aparor and Teo Kotai Jim. Pairs, Aidan Zitterstein and Taiki Paniani. Women, Emily Jim, TR Jim. Triples, Royden Aparor, Adoni Wichman Ryaoa and Tiora Turua. Women, Philomena Akaruru, Rima Strickland, Teo Korai Jim. Fours, Aidan Zitterstein, Adoni Wichman Ryaoa, Taiki Paniani and Tiora Turua. Women, Philomena Akaruru, Emily Jim, Rima Strickland, TR Jim. Cyprus squad. Just the singles. Men, Lucas Paraskiva and Sara Trotter. For the women, Czechia squad. Just a single entry in the men's singles, Craig Hurry. England squad. Singles, Sam Tolchard and Catherine Redknapp. Pairs, Ed Morris and Sam Tolchard and Sophie Tolchard and Amy Farrow for the women. Triples: Louis Ridout, Nick Brett and Jamie Walker. Women: Jamie Lee Marshall, Lorraine Cooler and Catherine Redknapp. Fours: Louis Ridout, Ed Morris, Nick Brett and Jamie Walker. Women: Sophie Tolchard, Jamie Lee Marshall, Lorraine Cooler and Amy Farrow. Para pairs: Men: Fynn Kaiser and Jack Pullen. And Jenny Sanford and Gil Platt, women. VI pairs: Stephen Hartley and Isaac Shee, director, Alison Yearling and Jane Herbert, director. Falkland Islands squad. Singles: Gary Tyrrell and Daphne Arthur Armand, and in the pairs, it's a men's side only with Gary Tyrrell and Christopher Locke competing. Fiji squad. Singles: Kushal Pillay and Loselina Dekoya. Pairs: Lal Chand Prasad and Munish Kumar for the men, and Elizabeth Masewai and Loselina Dekoya for the women. Triples: Men: Kushal Pillay, Semisa Nazaruvati and Rajneesh Prasad. Women: Radhika Prasad, Cheryl Edward and Lisha Tikoisuva. Fours: Men: Lal Chand Prasad, Munish Kumar, Semisa Nazaruvati and Rajneesh Prasad. Radhika Prasad. Women: Elizabeth Masewai, Cheryl Edward and Lisha Tikoisuva. France squad. Singles: Amara Dumont and Cindy Royette. Pairs: Dorian Dumont and Guillaume Herzog. Olivia Faure and Cindy Royette women. Triples: Men's side only with Maxime Faure, Amara Dumont and Thomas Royette. Fours: Same, men only with Dorian Dumont, Maxime Faure, Guillaume Herzog and Thomas Royette.
Thank you, Natasha. Good job. I will start with the Guernsey squad. Singles: men Matthew Solway and women Lucy Beer. Pairs: women's side only with Rosemary Ogier and Lucy Beer competing. Hong Kong and China squad. Singles: Tony Chung and Gloria Ha. Pairs: men Tony Chung and Lee Ka Ho. Women Angel So and Helen Chung. Triples: men Amen Tang, Stephen Tsai and James Poe. Women Cheryl Chan, Phyllis Wong and Gloria Ha. Fours: men Amen Tang, Stephen Tsai, James Poe and Lee Ka Ho. Women Cheryl Chan, Phyllis Wong, Angel So and Helen Chung. Para pairs: men Puk Kai Yoon and Wong Kin Kwong. Women Tang Wai Lin and Wu Man Ying. VI mixed pairs: Lee Kai Ming Rocky and Lee Fong Kiu, director, Tang Shun Yi and Ng Kwok Fai Kenny, director. India squad. Singles: Pudal Sanawal and Tanya Chaudhary. Pairs: men Sunil Bahadur and Pudal Sanawal. Women Lovely Chubi and Nayan Monisakya. Triples: men Navneet Singh, Chandan Kumar Singh and Dinesh Kumar. Women Tanya Chaudhary, Pinky and Rupa Rani Turkey. Fours: men Sunil Bahadur, Navneet Singh, Chandan Kumar Singh and Dinesh Kumar. Women Lovely Chubi, Pinky, Nayan Monisakya and Rupa Rani Turkey. Ireland squad. Singles: Gary Kelly and Sophie McIntyre. Pairs: men Adam McCown and Gary Kelly. Women Ashley Rainey and Sarah Kelly. Triples: men Stuart Bennett, Ian McLeod and Martin McHugh. Women Sophie McIntyre, Shauna O'Neill and Chloe Wilson. Fours: men Stuart Bennett, Adam McCown, Ian McLeod and Martin McHugh. Women Ashley Rainey, Sarah Kelly, Shauna O'Neill and Chloe Wilson. Israel squad. Singles. Zvika Hadar and Rudy Geiler. Pairs. Men only with Danny Alonim and Danny Slowdownik. Triples. Men, Zvika Hadar, Selwyn Hare and Alan Seidowitz. Women, Kani Amit, Amalia Levi and Ruth Geiler. Fours. Men only with Danny Alonim, Selwyn Hare, Danny Slowdownik and Alan Seidowitz. Japan squad. Singles. Kenta Tricha and Keiko Kurohara. Pairs. Men, Takashi Ohira and Tetsuya Hiruchi. Women, Sayuri Ibiru and Keiko Kurohara. Triples. Men, Hisaharu Sato, Kenichi Emura and Kenta Tricha. Women, Masako Sato, Midori Matsuoka and Hiroko Emura. Fours. Takashi Ohira, Tetsuya Hiruchi, Hisaharu Sato and Kenichi Emura. Women, Masako Sato, Sayuri Ibiru, Midori Matsuoka and Hiroko Emura. Para pairs. Men only, Mitsudaru Mizuguchi and Hisao Kiyama. Jersey squad. Singles. Malcolm de Souza and Megan Kivlin. Pairs. Men, Derek Boswell and Malcolm de Souza. Women, Kim Hutchings and Rachel McDonald. Triples. Men, Taylor Greachin, Kevin Lalong and Greg Davis. Women, Sarah Douglas, Megan Kivlin and Fiona Archibald. Fours. Derek Boswell, Taylor Greachin, Kevin Lalong and Greg Davis. Women, Kim Hutchings, Sarah Douglas, Rachel McDonald and Fiona Archibald. Kenya squad. Singles. Cephas Kimwaki Kimoni and Eunice Wambui Mbugwa. Pairs. Men, Benson Kariuki Wambugu and Cephas Kimwaki Kimoni. Women, Jedediah Injay Maina and Eunice Wambui Mbugwa. Triples. Men, Kielan Awar, Anwam Barakamanda and Joseph Katosi Mutua. Women, Serestin Wakali Masila, Frida Wangari Mwangi and Esther Wanjiru Ndungu. Fours. Men, Kielan Awar, Anwam Barakamanda, Benson Kariuki Wambugu and Joseph Katosi Mutua. Women, Serestin Wakali Masila, Frida Wangari Mwangi, Jedediah Injay Maina and Esther Wanjiru Ndungu. Macau China squad. Singles. Lam Su-hong and Tam Sim-fong. Pairs. Men, Wong Kai-hong and Chong Pak-kyong. Women, Chan Wai-kun and Tam Sim-fong. Triples. Men only with Chan Kim-meng, Lam Su-hong and Leong Seo-kei. Fours. Men only, Chan Kim-meng, Leong Seo-kei, Wong Kai-hong and Chong Pak-kyong. Malaysia squad. Singles. Izzat Shamid Zulkepel and Nurul Aliani Jamal. Pairs. Men, Izzat Shamid Zulkepel and Sufi Rusli. Women, Alina Nawawi and Ain Nabila Tamizi. Triples. Men, Haikal Azami, Adam Amin Ramlan and Hisli Abdul Ray. Women, Nurul Aliani Jamal, Sayafika Haidar Rahman and Azlina Ashad. Fours. Men, Haikal Azami, Adam Amin Ramlan, Hisli Abdul Ray and Sufi Rusli. Women, Alina Nawawi, Ain Nabila Tamizi, Sayafika Haidar Rahman and Azlina Ashad. Malta squad. Singles. Peter Tonner and Irene Added. Pairs. Men, Peter Tonner and Wesley Hedges. Women, Rebecca Rickson and Connie Rickson. Triples. Men, Peter Ellel, Jason Borge and Troy Lorimer. Women, Rita Hedges, Irene Added and Rose Rickson. Fours. Men, Peter Ellel, Wesley Hedges, Jason Borge and Troy Lorimer. Women, Rita Hedges, Rose Rickson, Rebecca Rickson and Connie Rickson. Namibia squad. Singles. Sjouk van Wyk and Bianca Lewis. Pairs. Men, Christo Steenkamp and Sjoerd van Wyk. Women, Bianca Lewis and Diana Viljoen. Triples. Men side only with Andre Campbell, Colin Peake and Johan Jacobs. Fours. Again, men only with Christo Steenkamp, Andre Campbell, Colin Peake and Johan Jacobs competing. Netherlands squad. Singles and pairs only. Singles. Men, Frank de Vries. And for the women is Ineke Spangenberg. Pairs. Men, Moors van Tol and Frank de Vries. Women, Ellie Dollyslager and Ineke Spangenberg.
Good time for me to take over, Neil. Cheers. New Zealand Blackjacks squad. Singles. Andrew Kelly and Taylor Bruce. Pairs. Men, Tony Grantham and Andrew Kelly. Women, Selena Goddard and Caitlin Inch. Triples. Men, Chris Laliva, Lance Pascoe and Sheldon Baker-Howley. Women, Lean Powelson, Taylor Bruce and Val Smith. Fours. Men, Tony Grantham, Chris Laliva, Lance Pascoe and Sheldon Baker-Howley. Women, Lean Powelson, Selena Goddard, Val Smith and Caitlin Inch. Para pairs. Men, Darren Wooland and Mark Noble. Women, Julia Connell and Terry Blackburn. VI mixed pairs. Karen and Colin Wheeler, Director, Jane and Brent Parsons, Director. Niue squad. Singles. Stanley Frederick Taffetu and Joy Peru. Pairs. Men, Keith Papani and Gregory Funaki. Women, Catherine Papani and Pilena Mochifu. Triples. Men, Tifaga Tuapuilu Lolaga, Tukala Tajalagi, and Stanley Frederick Taffetu. Women, Lindsay Talongi, Christine Heeper and Joy Peru. Fours. Men, Tifaga Tuapuilu Lolaga, Tukala Tajalagi, Keith Papani and Gregory Funaki. Women, Lindsay Talongi, Christine Heeper, Catherine Papani and Pilena Mochifu. Norfolk Island squad. Singles. Trevor Gow and Shay Wilson. Pairs. Men, Trevor Gow and Matt Big. Women, Carmen Anderson and Shay Wilson. Triples. Men, Tony Cycluna, Teddy Evans and Ryan Dixon. Women, Ellie Dixon, Carla Miles and Petal Jones. Fours. Men, Tony Cycluna, Matt Big, Teddy Evans and Ryan Dixon. Women, Ellie Dixon, Carla Miles, Petal Jones and Carmen Anderson. Papua New Guinea squad. Singles. Peter Juni and Espina MC Nye. Pairs. Men, Mana Walo and Valia Vili. Women, Klesha Walo and Piwan Kaka. Triples. Men, Kenneth Akirama, Peter Juni and Fred Koisen. Women, Diane Simonale, Olive Royka and Espina MC Nye. Fours. Men, Mana Walo, Kenneth Akirama, Valia Vili and Fred Koisen. Women, Klesha Walo, Diane Simonale, Piwan Kaka and Olive Royka. Philippines squad. Singles. Rodel Labeo and Marissa Baronda. Pairs. Men, Elma Abatayo and Rodel Labeo. Women, Marissa Baronda and Rosita Bradbourne. Triples. Men, Oma Macedo, Leoncio Carrion Jr. and Ronald Lysing. Women, Asuncion Bruce, Hazel Jaganoy and Vilma Greenlees. Fours. Men, Elma Abatayo, Oma Macedo, Leoncio Carrion Jr. and Ronald Lysing. Women, Asuncion Bruce, Hazel Jaganoy, Vilma Greenlees and Rosita Bradbourne. Samoa squad. Only one lady playing in the squad and that is Magalele Kalliope, playing in the singles. Singles. Men, Avila Savania. Pairs. Avila Savania and Tessessa Tefega. Triples. Edward Pio Bell, Lafila Lotamore, and Asuau Maniforma. Fours. Tessessa Tefega, Edward Pio Bell, Lafila Lotamore, and Asuau Maniforma. Scotland squad. Singles. Ian McLean and Emma McIntyre. Pairs. Men, Jason Banks and Ian McLean. Women, Emma McIntyre and Claire Anderson. Triples. Men, Paul Foster MBE, Derek Oliver and Alex Marshall MBE. Women, Carla Banks, Stacey McDougall and Caroline Brown. Fours. Men, Jason Banks, Derek Oliver, Paul Foster MBE, and Alex Marshall MBE. Women, Carla Banks, Claire Anderson, Stacey McDougall and Caroline Brown. Para pairs. Men, Danny Porter and Gary Brown. Women, Rosemary Lenton and Pauline Wilson. VI mixed pairs. Robert Barr and Sarah Jane Ewing, director, and Melanie Innes and George Miller as director. Singapore squad. Singles. Anthony Lo Ki Sin and Philomena Go Kui Ki. Pairs. Men, Deepan Eso Ramachandran and Anthony Lo Ki Sin. Women, Sarah Ho Shu En and Philomena Go Kui Ki. Triples. Men, Haraman Yuan, Thomas Leong Kim Hung and Matthew Ngui Ming Fook. Women, Leng Li Li, Kyo Ai Lin and Mei Li Beng Hua. Fours. Men, Haraman Yuan, Deepan Eso Ramachandran, Thomas Leong Kim Hung and Matthew Ngui Ming Fook. Women, Sarah Ho Shu En, Leng Li Li, Kyo Ai Lin and Mei Li Beng Hua. Para pairs. Majit Singh Eso Gurmit Singh and Kerman bin Mohammed. South Africa squad. Singles. Wayne Rittmuller and Colleen Peeketh. Pairs. Men, Wayne Rittmuller and Nixa Ben-Gurick. Women, Francesca Bolleri and Colleen Peeketh. Triples. Men, Bradley Robinson, Victor Sifili and Jason Evans. Women, Thabalo Muvango, Esme Kruger and Anique Snyman. Fours. Men, Bradley Robinson, Victor Sifili, Nixa Ben-Gurick and Jason Evans. Women, Thabalo Muvango, Francesca Bolleri, Esme Kruger and Anique Snyman. Para pairs. Dion van der Viver and Gareth Rees-Gibbs. VI mixed pairs. 1 mixed pairs. Hermanus Schultz and Jeffrey Newcomb director, and May Homer and Paul Homer as director. South Korea squad. Just the one team competing for South Korea, and it's in the para pairs with Hyun Mokyo and Chantai Park. Spain squad. Singles. Terry Morgan and Debbie Cahoon. And aside in just the men's pairs with Terry Morgan and John Pooley. Sri Lanka squad. Just the singles with Errol Mark Johnson for the men and Kumara Mangos competing for the women. Here is Ryan to finish the squads off.
Hello, chaps. I shall start with the Sweden squad. Just the two teams competing. In the men's singles, we have All Backgren, and the men's pairs with All Backgren and Pontus Palmqvist. Switzerland squad. Singles. Marcus Moles and Laura Butler. Pairs. Men, Marcus Moles and Beat Matty. Women, Marianne Kunzel and Laura Butler. Triples. Men, Christian Haldeman, Thomas Schnetter and Thomas Walty. Women, Andrea Locker, Caroline Learman and Simone Coons. Fours. Men, Christian Haldeman, Thomas Schnetter, Thomas Walty and Beat Matty. Women, Andrea Locker, Caroline Learman, Simone Coons and Marianne Kunzel. Thailand squad. Singles. Uthan and Orawan Sodak. Pairs. Men, Uthan and Watana Kadkunthad. Women, Orawan Sodak and Palata Ganga. Triples. Men, Patawi Montien, Naratai Anjituan and Thanakrit Tamasan. Women, Shamripran Kochawong, Tanaida Kachanthornpak and Nanapat Tomak. Fours. Men's, Patawi Montien, Naratai Anjituan, Watana Kadkunthad and Thanakrit Tamasan. Women's, Shamripran Kochawong, Tanaida Kachanthornpak, Palata Ganga and Nanapat Tomak. Para pairs. Men, Anek Banjadkitkal and Satian Thongdi. Women, Bwalai Kuntong and Somwangchamnan Pana. Turkey squad. Singles. Men, Zafar Yaman and women, Bahar Sil. Pairs. Men, Serkanokar and Oskanokar. Women, Busranu Yuzan and Berna Guzelakak. Triples. Men's, Zafar Yaman, Eid Guzelakak and Boris Islam Bolat. Women's, Serap USTA, Sebiha USTA and Bahar Sil. Fours. Men's, Boris Islam Bolat, Eid Guzelakak, Serkanokar and Oskanokar. Women's, Busranu Yuzan, Berna Guzelakak, Serap USTA and Sebiha USTA. United States of America squad. Singles. Charlie Herbert and Nunej. Pairs. Men, Bob Schneider and Charlie Herbert. Women, Janice Bell and Nunej. Triples. Men, Bill Brault, Aaron Zangle and Lauren Dion. Women, Mary Speece, Joan Robbins and Mary Ann Beath. Fours. Men's, Bob Schneider, Bill Brault, Lauren Dion and Aaron Zangle. Women's, Mary Speece, Janice Bell, Joan Robbins and Mary Ann Beath. Wales squad. Singles. Men's, Daniel Salmon. Women, Melanie Thomas. Pairs. Men, Daniel Salmon and Jared Breen. Women, Sarah Nichols and Issy White. Triples. Men, Owain Dando, Chris Clefens and Ross Owen. Women, Melanie Thomas, Bethann Russ and Laura Daniels. Fours. Men, Owain Dando, Chris Clefens, Ross Owen and Jared Breen. Women, Sarah Nichols, Bethann Russ, Issy White and Laura Daniels. Para pairs. Robert Sawyers and Paul Brown. Zimbabwe squad. Singles. Lionel Coventry and Jane Rigby. Pairs. Men, Miles Hopper and Clive Robertson. Women, Karen Sinclair and Heather Singleton. Triples. Men, Grant Clift, Brian Ray and Lionel Coventry. Women, Caroline McDonnell, Melanie James and Jane Rigby. Fours. Men, Grant Clift, Brian Ray, Miles Hopper and Clive Robertson. Women, Karen Sinclair, Caroline McDonnell, Melanie James and Heather Singleton.
How to watch. The string schedule. Week 1. Day 1, August 29, Session 1, 8:30 a.m. Australia vs England, New Zealand vs Kenya. Session 2, 11:30 a.m. England vs Australia, Malaysia vs Samoa. Session 3, 2:45 p.m. Australia vs Canada, Papua New Guinea vs Hong Kong. Day 2, Session 1, 8:30 a.m. Australia vs Sri Lanka, Australia vs Republic of South Africa. Session 2, Jersey vs Australia, New Zealand vs Wales. Session 3, Wales vs Australia, Wales vs Scotland. Day 3, Session 1, Australia vs Malaysia, Wales vs England, Cyprus vs Australia, Thailand vs Hong Kong. Session 3, France vs Australia, Norfolk Island vs Namibia. Day 4, to be confirmed, September 1. Broadcast schedule, September 2, the women's fours and the para mixed pairs finals. Session 2 at 12 p.m. will be men's pairs, para women's pairs. And session 3 at 3:30 p.m. will be the men's triples. Finals, September 3, the para men's pairs, and the women's singles. Streaming schedule week 2. Day 7, September 5th. Session 1. Georgia vs Ireland. Scotland vs Argentina. Session 2. Australia vs Malta. Australia vs Switzerland. Session 3. England vs Sweden. England vs Canada. Day 8, September 6th. Session 1. Zimbabwe vs Australia. Jersey vs Nauru. Session 2. Australia vs Hong Kong. Singapore vs USA. Session 3, Australia vs England. Zimbabwe vs Wales. Day 9, September 7, Session 1, Australia vs Hong Kong. Samoa vs Malta. Session 2 is Israel vs Australia. Scotland take on Cook Islands. And Session 3, Fiji vs Australia. New Zealand vs France. Day 10, September 8, to be confirmed. Session 1 and Session 2. And Day 11 will be to be confirmed for the playoffs. As you can see there, there's the finals. Well, that's a wrap up, friends. If you want to know more, you can check out wob2023.bowls.com.au, the Facebook pages, and Bowls Link for all the draws and results. So remember, friends, anyone can play, and good job. Hooroo.